Her religious stuff has gone way off the deep end.
That's Charles Vallow on January 31st, 2019, 6 months before he was shot and killed. He's outside a hotel in Gilbert, Arizona. He's called the police to help him confront his wife, Lori, who he thinks may be inside.
I want her to get help.
Yeah.
She's my wife. I love her to death. I just don't want her hurt.
Okay.
You know, I just don't want her hurt. I don't want her to hurt anybody else.
Charles explains to the officers that the day before, Lori had taken $35,000 from their joint bank account and sabotaged his trip home from Texas.
Suspect she took my truck from the airport last night when I flew in. She canceled my flights. I had to buy another ticket to come back home.
Then he starts telling the officers the things Lori has been saying and what she believes.
She threatened me physically. She made threats about the kids. She doesn't care what happens to them. Come get them. I don't care. We won't hear that much longer anyway. And I've got my God powers. I can kill you if I want, anytime I want. It's just irrational stuff.
Yeah.
She needs some serious help. I want her to get help. I'm worried about her.
Charles tells the officers that Lori thinks she was married in a past life to Angel Maroney, the figure playing the trumpet on top of many LDS temples.
She thinks she's married to Moroni in the past.
You think she's what?
We're married to Moroni at the top of the temple.
Angel LDS.
She knows when the second coming is happening next year.
He also explains that Lori believes his body has been taken over by a man named Nick Schneider. Charles is clearly alarmed by the things Lori has been telling him.
I've tried to support her as much as I could, but it's gotten really, really bad lately. She's had a break. She says, I'm Nick Schneider. I've taken over Charles's body. And Charles has been killed. I'm going to kill you. You're going to be murdered today or tomorrow. I can do it.
Then he tells the officers about his biggest concern, little JJ.
I've got a 6-year-old with special needs.
Right. And he stays at school somewhere.
Right.
Okay.
For now. If she knows I'm here, she's going to go get it.
Lori ended up not being at the hotel. Less than a year after this body cam video was recorded, Charles and their children, JJ and Tylee, are all dead.
They scared the crap out of me.
Think about how tragic all that is. I mean, Charles Vallow is laying it out. But what could officers do at that point? But Charles Vallow knew what was happening, but unbelievably could do nothing to stop everything that happened afterwards. Let's bring in Court TV's Ted Rawlings and Court TV special contributor Ashley Banfield, both here. Ted, as you're going through that video, I mean, it seems crystal clear that Charles Vallow knows that Lori is off the rails, but he still loves her. Still loves her.
Yeah, and wants something done to help her. And that's sort of his reoccurring theme. It's interesting. He was successful. The police brought her in for a mental evaluation the next day. She passed it with flying colors. She walked in, and after they talked with her, oh, this woman's fine. Let her go because she was so good and so manipulative. And they couldn't, like, to your point, what could they do at that point?
Frustrating. I want to take a listen to Melanie Gibb, who was on Dateline last night. This is from Dateline. This is a former friend of Lori Vallow. She's also a former member of this cult that they were a part of. And here she is talking about the relationship between Lori Vallow and not Charles Vallow, but Lori Vallow and her new husband, Chad Daybell. Take a listen.
I saw him as the hand and her as the puppet on that hand. They were both like gasoline and fire, equally destructive to each other. So in a way, they both had deception in them.
That's for sure.
And they both lie. And so that was their common thread, is that they were really good lying to each other.
All right, Ashley, what do you suspect is really going on here? Is this some sort of belief set that's off the rails? Are there different agendas for Chad versus Tammy? What do you think is really going on here?
Well, at the beginning of all of this, Vinny, I really suspected that Lori had fallen victim to a Svengali-like cult leader. I mean, we've seen it before, right? We saw the followers of Marshall Applewhite all, let him lead them to their deaths. Jim Jones, I mean, Charles Manson had people kill for him. David Koresh, I mean, we've seen it before. It's not like it isn't possible. You see the video of them and they just sure don't look strange. They don't look scary. They don't look weird. So it might be a little bit hard to accept, but you can't see what's in their minds. But as the evidence has increasingly become evident, it's a little disconcerting. I mean, both of these people have dead exes, all within a timely point of their marriage. And now she has 2 dead children. He has 2 dead children's bodies in his yard. So I'm not so sure that it's the hand and the puppet. I think these might be 2 hands, and I think there may be other people they're playing in this cult-like organization, because there are more people. Her brother, Alex Cox, is married to somebody who apparently had these same beliefs. Alex Cox apparently had these beliefs. He's now dead, conveniently, because many of the signs point towards him having some responsibility in the burial, at least, of these children. So I'm not 100% sure that it's one rock in the other, so to speak. And I think that's probably what the police are thinking about right now. And I should tell you this, Vinny, I spoke with the Rexburg police today. And you're not going to like this, because every time you and I talk, that name, who you won't mention, comes up. The woman in Florida, Casey Anthony. I spoke with the Rexburg police about Casey Anthony's case, and they are talking about her too. And it's for that reason they're taking their time. They said they are being absolutely careful. They want their ducks in a row. They're not going to go flying out with charges until they have every piece of the puzzle in place. And Casey Anthony was a cautionary tale for them.
Fascinating. You know, Ted, every time someone died, it made things better for Chad Daybell, right? He meets this blonde, Lori Vallow. She's married. Oh, now she's not married anymore. Uh-oh, I'm married. Now I'm not married anymore. Oh, she's got these 2 kids. One of them's special needs. We got to take care of them. That's going to cost money. Oh, they're gone now. Now we're down in Hawaii with a bag of money. That's the way I look at Chad Daybell.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious, right? I mean, he fell in love with Lori. They met at a conference, and I think at first that he was in charge, and he is the prophet, and he's the guy that has all these visions. But Lori jumped right in, and he gave her status in this crazy world. This is where Melanie Gibbs is going to be the star witness for the state when they do press charges, and they will. Because she'll be able to tell the story and show how Lori was at the beginning taken by him and believed it. But then there had to have been a moment where she crossed the line on her own. She killed her own children, and she had them killed because of this guy. I think they both wanted that free lifestyle. They both wanted to be together. She told Charles Vallow, 6 months before, I don't care about the kids. You take the kids. So she had that in the back of her mind as well. It wasn't just Chad.
Yeah, and that's the problem and Ashley, when you are a parent at the trial of the murder of your own children, and there is evidence of you really not caring, that does not help. It really doesn't help at all. And we saw that. She's out on her honeymooning down in Hawaii and the kids are gone.
Yeah, spinning around on the beach for glamour shots without a care in the world. That is not going to go over well, because that, as we now know as of Friday's released affidavit, was months after these children were rotting in the ground. And he knew it, Chad knew it, presumably Lori knew it, because they're her kids. She's got to wonder where they are. I look at this picture and Uncle Alex in the background smiling, and as though they're the happiest family, and it sickens me to think it would be 24 hours and Tylee would be dead. And Uncle Alex would be pinging out back exactly where they found her remains. And it would be just a couple more weeks after that little boy, JJ, would also be dead. And that smiling Uncle Alex right there would be out pinging in the backyard where JJ's remains were found. It's just shocking to see this picture and how sick and twisted this entire family must have been if they could take a picture like that within hours of the death of at least one of those kids.
That's another fact. You just don't understand these people, but how could you ever understand taking the lives of these two children?